Be funny. Just be funny.
I don't know how to do that.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there's Brandon.
Hi, everybody.
Who sounds as good as always. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, you can find us online at namely90s.com or on Twitter and Instagram at namely90s with a 90s. You can also find this show on YouTube every Monday at namely90s.com/YouTube. And finally, if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s, also with a 90s, and get signed up for one of our support levels. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, no, sorry. I might be low energy. I'm gonna try to fake until I make it today, but
that's what I always do.
I think I might have heat exhaustion.
Healthy.
Or slightly dehydrated today.
This is why we don't go outside.
Yeah. It wasn't even that hot today, but I was sweating and then I wasn't.
That's how I keep my pasty complexion with these white ring lights as well. But
but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not con flu. Because I went to Star Wars Celebration over the weekend.
Con flu, huh?
Yeah. Are you familiar with the phenomena?
That's an STD, yes?
No. So when you go to a convention, apparently, so this is my first convention, but from what I understand,
this was a furry convention. Am I right?
Yes. I would see a furry or two.
The distinction between the Star Wars, convention and a furry convention, not that sharp of a distinction.
There was one or two people dressed up as the 1979 Star Wars comic character Jackson the Rabbit.
It reminds me of that episode of CSI where they all went to a furry convention and they were like scritching each other.
I don't really know that much about furry culture.
Also, the definition for that comes from WikiFur, the furry encyclopedia.
It's a thing.
I don't like that.
There are furries out there. You're going to shame people?
No, I don't like that website.
Oh, I was like,
well, hold on now. I don't see how that has to do with pride.
Furries are under the LGBTQA plus banner. It's a sexual orientation.
Is it? Oh, well,
I don't know if orientation is the right.
Something.
I don't know if orientation is the right word, but it's an identity. It's actually, from what I understand, before we get furry haters on here, or not furry haters, before we get labeled as not understanding furries, there's the dressing up side, and then there's also a sexual side. But
I recall that.
They're not.
The CSI episode revealed
together.
That distinction. Yeah, those could be separate things. Yeah.
Yes. I've watched enough Game Grumps to know.
Oh.
One of the running jokes is one of the hosts is a furry, but didn't realize it until they were playing like Sonic. Because of Sally Acorn. Our generation grew up on all of like the slightly sexual cartoon characters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lola Bunny, Sally Acorn, all those things. And then over the course of many years, and a lot of commenters saying Dan's a furry, one of the hosts is like, yeah, I might be a furry, but not to the extreme.
I'll avoid making any more comments before I step into some sort of bad situation.
Yeah. And if you're a furry and a fan of Namely 90s, please feel free to be our technical furry consultants.
Yeah. For all things furry, we would love to be able to consult you.
Just so we don't get anything wrong. But yeah, I went to Star Wars convention for the first time, and it was awesome. It was in Anaheim. And since it was Anaheim, people didn't wear masks.
What is that, like a Republican hotbed of California?
Yeah, LA is masked up. Anaheim's like, yeah.
How I don't even understand how those are different places, but that's from a Washingtonian.
Yeah, well, so like Disneyland is Anaheim, and Anaheim's the rich people part of town.
Oh yeah, rich people don't get COVID, so that's perfect.
Traditionally, we're conservative people.
Reminds me of the time that I once drove myself and my, well, at the time, fiance, soon to be wife, anyway, from La Crescenta, Montrose area, Glendale, to Anaheim for Disneyland. I remember driving all that way. I think it was like 3.5 hours.
Jeez.
No, I'm kidding. I was making a LA traffic joke. Anyway, and then I get there and I lose Kayla. She's gone. I can't find her. We're at the gate. And I walk up to the thing and I hand her my ticket or whatever it was. I think it was a ticket. And she goes, "Sir, this isn't Disneyland." And I was like, I'm pretty sure it is. I just drove here. I'm pretty sure it's Disneyland. And she was like, "Sir, this is California Adventure." And then she just points behind me and I turn around and there's just like another giant entrance. And I was like, "Oh, right." And then off I went.
Yeah. Oh, right. I've been here before, but
I've not been there before.
At that point in time, we walked. I'm pretty sure we walked from downtown Disney to the gates, and then you and our other friend saw the prices for entry into one of the parks.
I feel like I'm on the stand in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Like, I'm sorry, I don't recall. I actually don't recall that, but it was just. I think it was just like it was in a frenzy. There were a lot of people around. I lost Kayla. I was like, I'll just go to the gate. And then when she told me it wasn't Disneyland, I about had a conniption. I was like, "Listen, lady."
Oh, you were a proto Karen.
Yeah. Well, I was like, "I have an expired coupon that I'd like to use. Get your manager over here."
Well, could you imagine if she let you into California Adventure and Kayla's in Disneyland and you're just like wandering around California Adventure looking for your
what is this
girlfriend
place?
At the time?
Yeah.
Or fiance.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, it was at the Anaheim Convention Center. I got to see Obi-Wan Kenobi, the first 2 episodes early before anyone else. If you followed us on Twitter, I posted a non-spoiler review before the show even came out on Disney+.
If they ever release a movie trilogy about Obi-Wan, they should name it Obi-Wan, Obi-2, Obi-3, of course. There you go. Highbrow.
This isn't a spoiler since the new episode 4 comes out in like a day or two. He reveals in this episode, from the day that we're recording, he did have a brother that he's like vaguely remembers. So the current joke is Obi-2 is his brother's name, which he just made. So
Obi-Wan, is that Juan?
Forgive me, our normal viewers, listeners. I again am working at half energy here, so I'm gonna laugh at anything Andrew says today. This is his show. He's very excited about it.
It's terrible. Anyway, do we need to vamp more?
No, we can get into it.
So, why don't you tell us what was going on in June of 1996? Take us back.
Ravel back with me, listeners, to June 1996, unless Andrew wants to do it while I just sit here in pain.
I can if you would prefer.
On the 1st, Sony lets their lease expire on the Megatron in Times Square. Do you know what the Megatron is?
I believe it's a large television of sorts.
Megatron is the villain from Transformers.
Well, that's
Andrew.
true. Yeah.
Yes, you are correct. I believe it is the big main TV of all those many TVs in Times Square.
Right.
Yes. Also on the 1st, Woody Harrelson is arrested for planting 4 hemp seeds in Lee County, Kentucky, where there was no distinguishable difference between industrial hemp seed and marijuana planting.
Isn't it interesting that one of the states that's like the biggest liquor producer in the country is like, oh, marijuana, that's one step too far. Hemp.
I mean, maybe, but also at the same time, it makes a lot of sense.
That's the devil's lettuce.
Just like moonshiners don't want weed moving in on their business. I don't know.
Good thing those things aren't mutually exclusive.
True, but resource-wise and like drugs and alcohol,
those 4 hemp seeds are really going to drain the resources from the
especially back in the day, it was still under alcohol, firearms, and tobacco, I think.
Maybe he was in trouble because he wasn't using like owned people to harvest the hemp seed.
Can you get owned people up in Kentucky?
Well, not recently. I just wanted to make a joke about the South, the Confederacy, and such.
Is Kentucky in the South?
Yes. Freaking Virginia's in the South. Did you know that? We were in Virginia and someone said something about the Southern hospitality, and I was like,
we're halfway up the coast.
I need a map. Hold on. Yeah. What? I was like, we hope you enjoyed our Southern hospitality. I'm like, we're at the capital. I'm confused.
Yet somehow Florida is sometimes not considered Southern.
We almost moved to Woodbridge, Florida, Virginia, by the way.
Wow.
Like 2.5, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found out that apparently the Washington Commanders are looking at building their new stadium in Woodbridge, or as the locals came to call it, Hoodbridge, we found. And then we were like, we're not moving here.
Your kids could have been raised as Washington football team fans.
WFT. WAP.
Also on the 1st, Tom Holland is born. He's Spider-Man number 3. And we recently learned that your naming convention is different from the naming convention that I created from your naming convention.
Yes. So well, the naming convention is a moving target, okay?
So today, the day we're recording, is Tom Holland's actual birthday.
Oh.
Also on the 1st, the broadcast debut of baseball on the Fox. Wait, that's not the right one. On the 2nd, former host of Family Feud, Ray Combs, passes away at 40 via suicide.
Oh, sad. Wait, wasn't he still on Home Improvement? I'm kidding.
On the 4th, Maria Baclov.
She's a sweet layered pastry with phyllo dough. Phyllo?
Baklova is born. She was in Borat's subsequent movie film. Can you tell me if that's the first Borat or the second Borat?
It is the second one. I've seen the first one. I've not seen the second.
I think I watched half of the second one and was just like, I can't. But yeah, she played Borat's daughter. On the 10th, the Rosie O'Donnell show premieres.
Ugh, flinging koosh balls into the audience.
Also on the 10th, Intel releases the 200. That tells me you haven't scrolled down to read.
Not yet.
Notes. On the 10th, Intel releases the 200 megahertz. On the good God.
On the 200th, Intel releases.
On the 10th, Intel releases the 200 megahertz Pentium chip. For reference, the current 12th gen Intel Core i7 processors run at 4.8 gigahertz. So, Andrew, do the math for me.
1/20th-ish the speed.
There you go. On the 11th, Bob Dole resigns from the Senate to run for president. Bob Dole. Why do you sound like George Herbert Walker Bush when you say that?
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole. Or is my recollection of Bob Dole wrong?
I just remember him from the Viagra commercials.
I was thinking the Pepsi commercial. Was that a Viagra commercial?
Bob Dole was in Viagra commercials, yes.
Because I thought he was watching Britney Spears, and then he cracks open a Pepsi and takes a sip, and he's like, Bob Dole likes this.
No, that was also a Viagra commercial.
Because because it's now tainting my memory as a Viagra commercial, but I swear it was a Pepsi commercial.
1998 Bob Dole Viagra commercial.
Can you see Bob Dole Britney Spears Pepsi commercial for me while I...
BuzzFeed News. Bob Dole starred in a Viagra ad in 1998.
Or do you need me to do that?
Bob Dole, Britney Spears, Viagra. No, Pepsi. That was actually a suggested search. Wow. Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, good. I was concerned. On the 15th, Ella Fitzgerald passes away at 78 via stroke. Do you know who Ella Fitzgerald
Rip
is?
to the max. She's a
Rip to the
jazz
max.
musician.
Yes. Can you tell me a single song that she sang?
No.
Can you tell me her nickname as the First Lady of song? I can't tell if you're staring at me.
Jazz? I don't know.
So it was song.
Oh. All right.
Yes.
I'm sure I would know a song of hers if I just don't know the names of any of them.
Neither do I. Which is why I was stalling and trying to see if I could look one up.
Bob Dole.
Some of her best known songs: "Dream a Little Dream of Me."
Nope.
You have to know that one. Come on. Really?
Not by name.
Just by the title?
No, not by the. Yeah, I don't think I'll know by the title.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Well, of course. Who doesn't know that song?
Okay.
I just want to know the title. It's like Ace of Base. It's The Sign.
That's
I thought
true.
they were saying the sun for like the entire existence that I was alive. What am I saying?
You didn't know it was a sign for like yes, you thought it was the sun. I want to say she was in, wasn't she in, wow, I was going to say Blues Travelers. My brain is like gone. But I thought she was in Blues Brothers, but that might have been another famous black woman singer. So apologies on that. On the 22nd, Candace Cameron, 20, marries Montreal Canadiens Valerie
Beret.
Oh, I thought I said beret before, and you corrected me to burr. Beret.
I don't think you've said.
I know
that
I said it.
before.
I know I said it wrong because I say Candace Cameron burr, and yeah, so beret is the correct. He's 22, or she.
He.
Valerie. Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
Candace Cameron is, you might say she's slightly Christian. Do you know who Candace Cameron is?
No, but speaking of slightly Christian, I was just at a Chick-fil-A.
Candace Cameron is DJ for Full House.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Her brother is Kirk Cameron. Are you familiar with
right.
Kirk
Yeah,
Cameron?
a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Was he in that weird movie with like the what was that called? I can't remember. Kirk Cameron makes these
the
weird,
Rapture?
bad movies.
Yeah. Weird.
Whereas like there was one recently with like the story of Jesus as if he were like a modern day cowboy.
Well, he used to be on all the advertisements for the like Bible channel or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
He's also best known, other than a religious person, as I want to say he was Mike Seaver on. God, I know this. Family Ties, right? Family Ties.
Sure. And now he says that the public
Growing
school
Pains. Damn it.
Public schools are grooming kids with critical race theory and sexual chaos.
Are you actually looking at the headlines, or
I typed his name in it? His stuff came up.
That's the headline that I'm currently seeing as well. Yeah. Not surprising.
My favorite thing is this headline: Kirk Cameron, Christian Reconstructionism and the Homeschool Revolution, from everyone's favorite reputable website called Boing Boing. I only get my news from boingboing.com.
Not a sponsor. On the 22nd, Quake releases for DOS. Did any of those words make sense to anyone?
Well, a lot of games are on the Quake engine, such as
Call of Duty.
Rocket League.
No, Rocket League. Well, it's not the current Quake engine. That's
no,
like
it's like
isn't it Unreal 4 or something?
Oh wait, no, that's the Unreal Engine. Sorry. Quake
is on Unreal.
The Quake engine actually, I believe, is the basis for Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. The other one is the Unreal Engine, which those all kind of came out around the same time.
Yeah. And then they license it to other video game companies, so we just get the same.
Yeah, Half-Life uses Gold Source,
crap.
which is the most common name for Valve's heavily modified version of ID Software's Quake engine. Uses Valve Half-Life 1998. There you go.
Wow. Also, on the 23rd, the Nintendo 64 goes on sale in Japan along with Super Mario 64, and I'm pretty sure we don't talk about it, where we have talked about it on when it went on sale here, or will. Who knows? Also on the 25th, Lele Pons. Lele is born. Do you know who this person is? Do you remember what Vine was?
I do. 6-second videos.
Yes, she was a Vine star. She is currently an internet celebrity from Venezuela. I think she makes YouTube and Instagram videos now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's really obnoxious. Shout out to Lele Pons. Get her on the podcast. Pointed to the wrong camera.
I don't think this is the format for her.
She's clearly born in the 90s.
What if we made a format with 6-second podcasts?
You should check out our shorts at namely 90s on Instagram.
Check out my shorts after. No, never mind.
Yes, it's just a bunch of pictures of us in shorts. TV ending June 1996. This segment's gone on too long.
Yeah.
On the 9th, Sequest DSV, which is a show that I really loved, and I think I talked about it before.
Yeah.
Box office on the 7th, The Phantom. Also on the 7th, The Rock. On the 14th, The Cable Guy, starring Andrew's favorite actor from the 90s,
Jim Carrey.
Did you actually know that, or was
it was a good guess?
Good guess. On the 21st, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Finally on the 28th, we have The Nutty Professor and Striptease, starring Demi Moore.
It's Demi
Moore. Is it Demi Lovato?
No, she does it normal.
Gotcha. And on the Billboard charts, number 1 for June 1996, in from May and out into July, is The Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony. And continuing on for the first full week of June 1996, at number 2, we have Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey. Number 3, Because You Loved Me by Celine Dion. Number 4, Give Me One Reason by Tracy Chapman.
Give me one reason. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome.
And I'll turn it back around. Number 9, Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Number 11, Theme from Mission Impossible. Don't remember who actually does that, but it's because the first Mission Impossible movie was released in 1996. Number 14, Follow You Down by the Gin Blossoms. I like that one. On the night, number 19, The Macarena Bayside Boys Remix by Los Del Rio. Number 23, 1, 2, 3, 4, Something New by Coolio. Do you remember that one?
Something New. No, I don't.
It's the where he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't.
For like the first half of that, I thought you were gonna do Mambo Number 5 by Lou Bega. Like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's different. The Coolio song samples some 70s disco song. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, get your booty on the floor. And then for some reason my brain goes, if you want to get up, get down, but I don't know if that's correct. And also at number 25, we have Come On and Write It, parenthesis, The Train, close parenthesis, by Quad City DJs. Remember when we did that bit?
Yes, I do. Wait, did we?
The bit about come on and ride it, Princess the Train, close Princess.
I thought that was CNC Music Factory.
Oh, that's true. That was something by CNC Music Factory. Which one was that?
That was Everybody Dance Now. What's the Everybody Dance Now is in the parenthesis.
Gonna make you sweat, close over. Gonna make you sweat, parenthesis, Everybody Dance Now, close parenthesis by CNC Music Factory.
Hey, and now let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome back to our mid-episode break, Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Season 3 of The Orville, we're looking back at Star Trek Voyager? What? Why aren't we doing Family Guy? Star Trek Voyager is an American science fiction television series created by Rick Berman, Michael Piller, and Jerry Taylor, which ran for 172 episodes over 7 seasons on UPN. It is the 4th live-action Star Trek series, 5th if you count the animated series, and is centered around the USS Voyager, registration number NCC 74656, which is stranded in the Delta Quadrant, 70,000 light-years from Earth. Crewed by a mix of Federation officers and a paramilitary terrorist organization called the Maquis, Voyager focuses on the struggle between the crew to work together on their way back home to Federation space. Voyager is made up of its captain, Red from Orange is the New Black, the first officer, leader of the Maquis and Native American stereotype Chakotay, second officer, the principal from iCarly, helmsman, dishonorably discharged from Starfleet Tom Paris, his future wife, chief engineer, and human Klingon hybrid B'Elanna Torres, perpetual ensign Harry Kim, the emergency medical hologram Coach Cutlip from the Wonder Years, Delta Quadrant tour guide Neelix and his partner Kess, and late addition to the cast, Borg drone Ronnie from Boston Public. After the first 3 seasons, Kess gets psychic powers and goes crazy and leaves the ship and is replaced by fan favorite Borg 7 of 9. When focus began to shift to the new character tinted on set from the first female Star Trek captain and the newcomer Rose. Voyager is a messy and long show, but it captured the spirit of the original series and going to new planets and meeting new species we never see again, while keeping up with the next generation villains like the Borg. The crux of the show is whether or not the crew of Voyager could maintain their Federation morals as they spent what should have been decades returning home, but they make it back in the clean 7. And that's Star Trek Voyager, not Family Guy, in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now, back to the show.
Any?
I hate it all.
Was there anything else that like we mentioned that you wanted to talk about?
No. I mean, I do remember watching the Rosie O'Donnell show, actually.
Yeah, me as well.
I have I have memories of watching the show. And all I remember is her flinging koosh balls into the audience. But she's
was her shtick.
She's such an unlikable woman. She has no charm or charisma. She's just really awful on camera. But why is she on camera?
I don't know, but she did win 5 Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Talk Show.
I don't care. What's an Emmy anyway? Kidding. Was it a Canadian Emmy?
I don't think it was.
Is there a distinction?
I don't think they have them.
True.
But, I mean, it would be a different academy. The Rosie O'Donnell show is apparently not spelled with an E like my notes say.
O'Donnell.
It's an American daytime variety television talk show created, hosted, and produced by actress and comedian Rosie O'Donnell. Probably best known in the movies from A League of Their Own. And Harriet the Spy. She was either the mother or the caretaker.
An illustrious career in film and cinema.
Well, I mean, those are the things that we would know from being kids in the 90s.
Let me guess, she played a heavy-set, outspoken woman in all of those. Can you say heavy-set anymore?
I don't know. Yes. Maybe not as a pejorative.
A little bit of a typecast there.
I mean, she wasn't like super heavy-set back then. Like not the kind.
She's like if Donald Trump was a female. That's what she reminds me of.
didn't she have a feud with Donald Trump? Like, wasn't he the one that made like the statement about like not wanting to bang her or something? It's like, great. She's a lesbian.
She's not asking for that.
Yeah. But doesn't matter to our 45th president. He would just grab her by the... And it premiered on June 10th, 1996. Grab her by the... Concluded after 6 seasons, and it concluded after 6 seasons on May 22nd, 2002.
That's the mark of success for a daytime talk show, is that it only lasts 6 seasons.
Well, she left to spend more time with her children.
She's just slingshotting koosh balls right into their eyes.
By the end, she had a koosh projecting device in the ceiling that was automated, as well as a firing at a moving target.
Sticky, like 90s thing to do. Throw koosh balls at people.
Koosh balls were so 90s. We should have them.
When were they invented, though?
Probably like the 80s.
1987.
Her endorsement of the Tickle Me Elmo played a large part in the huge popularity of the toy, which I don't think we mentioned when we talked about Tickle Me Elmo.
I don't like that at all.
The words Tickle Me Elmo?
Yeah, it's that especially.
She served Drake's snack cakes, which I am not aware of, helped increase
I think
their
it's
sales.
like the bad off-brand, like East Coast hostess.
Wasn't her show in like San Francisco? Like that was the setting, background setting. I remember a bridge. I don't remember which bridge. It might have been like Brooklyn or something. But it looked like the Golden Gate.
It is East Coast.
Okay. What's the set? Describe the set to the listeners.
What do you mean, the set?
The background of her set.
I don't know. Look at that.
Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, I thought that's what you were looking at.
No, I was looking up Drake's.
Oh.
I think my dad likes the devil dogs from there.
I don't know what those are. Are those like the
Oh yeah, it's
ho-hos?
Is that not Las Vegas?
Was it Las Vegas? I guess I have to look at it too. Also, if you want to read that last factoid down there.
This looks so bad. Okay, sorry. Am I supposed to read this?
I mean, you could let me do it if you want, but
and this dovetails nicely into my Donald Trump comment. In February of 1997, the mouthwash brand Scope released a list of the least kissable celebrities, in which O'Donnell was ranked number 1. O'Donnell responded by promoting rival mouthwash brand Listerine on her show. Listerine thanked O'Donnell by donating $1,000 to O'Donnell's Charity for All Kids every time a guest greeted O'Donnell with a kiss. Listerine donated more than $150,000.
Wow. I want to say that's like Coney Island.
Yeah, could be.
Can you see the Statue of Liberty from Coney Island?
So if it was set in San Francisco, why was the background New York?
Well, I didn't know for sure.
I'm just being a smart ass. I know.
Thank you.
It actually looks like.
What it does. So it does look like New York. But why would New York be the background of her show? Is the question.
When in reality, I don't know.
Oh, they shot at Rockefeller Center. That's New York.
Which is in San Francisco. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know why I remember. I swear
maybe because
Bridge.
The Rock is in San Francisco.
And I'm going to take your segue.
You're going to accept that segue and move it on in?
Yes. Do you remember this movie, The Rock?
I don't know. It has Sean Connery.
See, that was funny. So we did this as a Quotley 90s. And Andrew did not remember that Nicolas Cage was in this movie.
Isn't this like the original Prison Break? Like instead of breaking out of prison, they break into prison?
Pretty much, yeah.
Without Wentworth Miller or whatever?
Yes.
Or as I call him, J.G. Wentworth Miller. It's my money and I need it now.
You're really good at bringing up a lot of gay actors on the day on the first day of Pride Month. Yeah.
Wow.
And The Rock is a 1996 action thriller film directed by Michael Bay, Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. It stars Connery, Cage, and Ed Harris with William Forsythe and Michael Biehn.
Biehn. Well, it's directed by Michael Bay, so just everything explodes.
Yeah. Why do you think there's... it starts with a chase down the streets of San Francisco with a Hummer and a Mustang.
And then it cuts to the credits and a song from The Who plays. That is Jerry Bruckheimer.
That is, yes, that's Bruckheimer. And you're not too far wrong. It does. And also, it's a very Michael Bay movie, and it's like pre-Transformers. It's before he gets like super unhinged, so there's actually somewhat of a plot to it. So the Pentagon assigns a team comprising an FBI chemist and a former MI6 Secret Service captain.
Is there no woman in this movie?
There's one. It's the girl from like Mallrats and God, what else is she in? She's Connery's daughter, and all she is used for is one, for him to meet her in not Golden Gate Park when he escapes, and then two, to somehow forgive her dad and be worried when the missiles are coming to the island to blow up.
I always get this movie confused with the movie with Sean Connery and
Highlander.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, maybe?
Zorro.
There's lasers. They have to
that's
go through the lasers.
I don't think that's Connery.
Is it not Connery?
No, I'm pretty sure that's like Michael Douglas or something.
Oh, it might be Michael Douglas.
Because that's where they met.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, Laser Dance, Entrapment. Why did I think that was the same movie?
Great question.
It stars Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, it is Sean Connery. Wow.
But Michael Douglas wasn't a bad guess. What was she in with Michael Douglas?
Mask of Zorro. No. Well, they're married, right? So
are they?
I believe so, or they were.
Okay, there isn't really one that they're in. Yeah, they're just married, so never mind.
Huh.
Entrapment. That's a dumb movie.
Good memory. I guess I should put that in our 1999 episode.
Well, now I want to watch The Rock because I've never seen it because I thought it was the movie Entrapment.
Oh, really?
And therefore, I didn't want to watch it.
It's a
1999 film.
If you're on a Nick Cage, like if you're looking for good Nick Cage movies in the 90s, also, now that I remember, I believe it's this week that this comes out, possibly today. I am on All 90s Action all the time, talking about not The Rock.
I just Googled The Rock and it was all pictures of Dwayne Johnson, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to have to put movie after that. Listeners, go check out, after this episode is over, go check out All 90s Action all the time. They're not releasing regularly, but they are doing episodes this year. And I was on it to talk about Con Air, a Nicolas Cage movie, because it's the 25th anniversary.
The Rock, a.k.a. Will Smith 2.0.
And yeah, we talked for a very long time. I think it got edited down to about 2 hours. And I'm also going to be on their GoldenEye episode.
Oh.
So if Andrew's around on Friday at 1 p.m., he should jump on that.
I actually don't work Friday.
I will tell you the details after this episode if you're interested, although you're going to have to carve out some time in the afternoon.
We'll see.
Or you could just jump in and jump out. All right. So, All 90s Action all the time. Hi, Scott, if you're listening. And yeah, check that out. It should be today's episode on Con Air, which I had not watched all the way through. Great movie. Nick Cage, great actor. Also crazy. Also not a good actor. But also a good actor. Like they're do you understand Nick Cage, right? Like there's Nick Cage roles where he is a great actor in a great movie. There is Nick Cage roles where he is a bad actor in a bad movie. There is Nick Cage roles where he is a amazing actor in a really, really bad cheesy movie, Ghost Rider. And there
National Treasure. Where does that fall for you?
First watch, I would say
I think it's
bad actor, good movie.
I think it's a feel-good movie for the whole family. Where Nicolas Cage destroys
Matchstick
acting.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kick-Ass was a good one that he was in. Yeah, but The Rock.
Wasn't he in Gone in 60 Seconds?
Gone in 60 Seconds was one with she has the lips, Angelina Jolie. And what's the other one from like this time period? Con Air. I don't know. I won't think of it. The Rock. The Rock was pretty good. I guess I won't spoil it for you if you're gonna watch it.
We'll see.
Basically, some a rogue group of Marines take over Alcatraz. With a tour group was on the island. They have a bunch of nerve gas missiles or something. And they're saying, and they want the government to pay $1 million to the next of kin of 83 men who were killed on missions that the general led and the Pentagon denied. So it was,
wow.
If you think about it, Sean Connery and The Rock are trying to stop veterans from getting money. Or the family of veterans from getting compensated for
their that's
but Nick Cage plays like a nerdy scientist, so it's just like it's not the most believable thing.
You know what I just rewatched last night? Evolution, where David Duchovny tries to play a convincing scientist.
Does it still hold up?
It's a great movie. It's so funny.
Sean Connery essentially plays James Bond in this movie. He's an SAS agent. Or MI6 agent that was captured in like the 70s or something, but still had a child. I don't know. Anyway, one more topic and then we can close out.
I don't know much about either one.
Well,
we've got,
just to throw it in there, Hunchback Notre Dame was a 1996 animated Walt Disney movie, had Quasimodo, did well. Demi Moore was in it, apparently. She must have been the woman.
Kevin Kline, Jason Alexander, and then a bunch of other people I've never heard of.
It's one of the darkest Disney films of this era. It has themes of infanticide, lust, damnation, antagonism, genocide, and sin. I remember replaying this in Kingdom Hearts.
That has the same narratives as cable news.
Pretty much. Except it's set in 1600s France. That's where Notre Dame is, right?
That's where it was.
Oh, right. Yeah. Rip to the max.
There was this headline or something. I don't know if it's real or not, where it was like, it was like in 2020, or whenever it burned down. And it was like, they found like a mummified body underneath the cathedral. And they were like, scientists are planning to open it up. And someone's just like, don't. Like, don't open the mummified remains of this person.
That's fair.
In that year. I don't know. That was the worst description of that online picture that
I followed. The Nutty Professor is a 1996 American science fiction comedy film starring Eddie Murphy
in a fat suit.
Yes, it's a remake of the 1963 film of the same name, starring Jerry Lewis. Do you know who Jerry Lewis is?
I should.
Oh, right.
As I am one of his children, I should know who Jerry Lewis is.
Is he related to Huey?
No.
Okay. I didn't realize Jada Pinkett was in this, or Dave Chappelle. Oh, Dave Chappelle. So I always forget Dave Chappelle's in this movie. He plays like some guy at like a comedy night, and he heckles the fat version of Eddie Murphy, and then Eddie Murphy has his transformation and goes back and I don't know, slaps him on stage. I don't know.
With this, I was gonna say this movie really slaps with Jada Pinkett involved.
Yeah. Basically, Murphy portrays University professor Sherman Klump. Basically, do you remember when Steve Urkel would transform into Steve Urkel?
Yeah, Suave Urkel or whatever.
Yeah, that's basically this, except Eddie Murphy also played like his entire family.
You know what movie doesn't hold up, by the way, as far as being PC? This one, Dodgeball. Watched that the other night. Nope.
I watched that on recently, or not. I guess not recently.
Funnier movie than I remember. Not PC.
Yeah. I guess it was a year ago, and it was on like cable, so it was just like all of the bad jokes were edited out for time. The Sherman's nephew is the only member of the family not to be portrayed by Eddie Murphy. What was the term that you had for overweight people earlier in the episode?
Heavy set?
Yes. Everyone in the family was heavy set. Yeah, it's just it's Eddie Murphy in fat suits.
It's like a really obnoxious movie.
Yeah. And they're all just farting around the table.
That works for me.
Apparently. It received positive reviews. I liked the movie when I was a kid. Yeah.
We weren't allowed to watch it.
They praised the makeup and Murphy's performance, and its success spawned a sequel, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, released in 2000, which I know I've watched once, and I do not recall anything about it. Anything else for...
I do not recall. Sounds like you're on trial.
And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Check the episode description for this week's supplemental Spotify playlist curated by yours truly. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Namely90s with a 90s, or find our personal accounts at Beachwoody and at Namely Andrew, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with a 90s. Finally, you can also contact us through our website, Namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Koosh, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew. I'm Nathan. And we'll catch you next time.
That was scary. What was that?